I already had noticed that a lot of you were starting to bring up. And that is this random push for Kelsey Mitchell to become the MVP. And they actually had t-shirts printed up. But one thing that has really, and look, it's sort of an issue that everybody's taken note of with the Indiana Fever for the last 3 months. Where exactly is your priorities lie with the best player you got? I think Caitlin Clark wore one last night. I didn't expect her not to, all right? And we just know Caitlin Clark is going to go with the flow. She's not going to try to cause any drama. She's just not going to rock the boat. It's not in her personality.
Did the Indiana Fever just expose their real agenda with one t-shirt? Fans are livid after seeing players wearing Kelsey Mitchell for MVP shirts. Even Caitlin Clark reportedly had one on. But the question isn't just about merch. It's about what it reveals.
The transcendent phenom that you've got. Because, let's be real, Caitlin Clark had a rookie season last year that was better than some of the seasons a lot of MVPs have had. All right. Is there disagreements from with the philosophy of the club versus her? They never printed up t-shirts for her last year. And I think it's got a lot of people questioning, hey, are there other things at work here as to why Caitlin Clark is not back playing?
Why wasn't Clark, who had a rookie year better than many MVPs in history, given that same energy? Stick around because this shirt isn't just fabric. It's a signal of something much bigger happening inside the Fever organization. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Her representation, all of it. And look, it's a good question by fans. Where was your push for Caitlin Clark last year? And so I came over here to the WNBA 2025 odds by BetMGM. Kelsey Mitchell's not even involved. Kelsey Mitchell, she's had some great games this year. She has. But I don't think, and I wanted to look, I was like, is Kelsey Mitchell roaring up the MVP board?
Why would a single shirt cause so much chaos among Fever fans? It sounds impossible that one piece of merch could light up social media, but that's exactly what happened. The spark was a simple white t-shirt with bold lettering across the front. Kelsey Mitchell for MVP. It wasn't just a fan wearing it in the crowd. These shirts were spotted on Fever players themselves. And here's where the shock really hit. Caitlin Clark was reportedly seen wearing one too. The same Caitlin Clark who just had one of the most historic rookie seasons the WNBA has ever seen. Suddenly, one shirt wasn't just a shirt anymore. It became the loudest statement the franchise had made all year. Right away, fans started asking the same question. Why is the team putting Kelsey Mitchell in the spotlight as their MVP candidate when Caitlin already turned in the kind of performance rookies just don't have? We're talking national headlines, triple-doubles, packed arenas, and a fan movement that had the league buzzing all summer. Yet when it came to official recognition, the Fever chose to stamp Mitchell's name on merch and promote her as the one. It looked like an intentional choice. Was it loyalty to a veteran? Or was it a way of telling Clark she needs to wait her turn? Either way, the optics were shaky. Now picture the online reaction. It wasn't quiet, and it definitely wasn't united.
She's not even involved. It's Naphesia Collier, Steele, and Asia Wilson is closing pretty fast.
Some tried to laugh it off, posting jokes about how weird the whole thing felt. But others took it way more seriously. Words like disrespect, tone deaf, and cringe started popping up under photos of the shirts. Fans who traveled and bought tickets to see Clark felt blindsided, like the Fever were ignoring the main reason they suddenly mattered again. It was like a split screen. One section of the fan base rolling their eyes, another section fired up, posting that this was an insult to the rookie they've been rallying behind since April. Think about it like this. Imagine any workplace with an obvious superstar, the person everyone knows is carrying the team, the sales rep doubling the company's numbers, or the programmer who built the product everyone's buying. Now imagine the boss hands out Employee of the Month posters for someone else entirely. Not because that person is bad, but because the boss doesn't want to admit the new hire is the real engine. That's what this shirt felt like to a lot of Fever fans. Corporate PR celebrating the wrong person, while the actual star gets brushed aside. And when you look at the actual numbers behind these MVP shirts, the decision makes even less sense. Sports books like BetMGM set odds for the award, and Mitchell wasn't anywhere close to the top tier of names. Players like Nafisa Collier and Aja Wilson are the ones leading the race, both statistically dominant and central to their teams. Mitchell hasn't cracked that upper group all season. So the Fever pushing this narrative wasn't about realistic MVP odds. It was about messaging. It was about who they want to push as their leader. Clark may be the face of the league right now, but the Fever's marketing choice suggested they weren't ready to admit that. On one side, you've got the franchise doubling down with Mitchell. She's been with the Fever for years. She's respected in the locker room, and maybe they don't want her importance to get washed away in the storm of Clark mania. On the other side, the league itself, and every set of stats you can find, shows Clark's value is unmatched. She's the one breaking attendance records, moving TV ratings, and energizing women's basketball in a way we haven't seen before. So what happens when the team's narrative doesn't match the reality? You get fans feeling like the organization is working against the very thing that put them back in the spotlight. That tension is why people started speculating about deeper meanings. Did the Fever really not believe Clark was their best player? Were they worried about creating friction in the locker room by hyping her too early? Or was this simply another reminder that franchises sometimes struggle to balance vets with rising icons? Whatever the case, that shirt revealed way more than anyone expected. At the end of the day, this uproar isn't really about one design on cotton. It's about priorities. It's about what the Fever want to project to the world and how that vision clashes with fans who fully embrace Clark as the new centerpiece. Every time the team sidesteps that, it amplifies the cracks between the franchise and the supporters, keeping them relevant. The actual solution isn't about ignoring Kelsey Mitchell. Far from it. It's about finding a way to center Clark as the face of the future while still honoring the roles that veterans play. Because if they don't, this won't be the last time a small choice turns into a big problem. Fever can't keep playing these optics games. When you've got Caitlin Clark, a player who changes ratings, ticket sales, and the actual way people watch women's basketball, even small slip-ups create big divides. A simple shirt already turned fans against the team's messaging. So here's the real question. Should the Fever go all in on Clark now, or keep risking alienating her until another franchise comes calling? Because this isn't about merch or corny slogans. It's about the core decision every team must face. Do they rise with their superstar or collapse under mixed signals and divided agendas?